They do not want you to know about these things because this is where a lot of the videos that I see in finance YouTube come from. They do not want you to know these things because, well, then you don't need them. You don't need the middleman if you already know where the information is coming from. So let's just go ahead and dive right into these 8 sources of information that they do not want you to know about. Number 1 is IRS.gov. Now, this is kind of facetiously said, but IRS.gov is going to tell you what's going on with stimulus information. IRS.gov is where you can go for all your definitive sources of information. Everything is up to date. Everything is on par. And I feel like I'm kind of preaching to the choir because I'm preaching to my own audience for the most part. Most of the people that show up to these videos are people who subscribed. But when I say you don't need to do anything to get a stimulus check, and you could make a lot more than $1,200 by not watching 100 stimulus check videos. Look, I'm not calling anybody out or anything, but yeah, IRS.gov. That's number 1. Number 2 is Bankrate.com, and I just plugged this one yesterday. This one is going to tell you all the best savings accounts. So a lot of credit card channels, a lot of debit card, card channels, they go through Bankrate.com. They do a lot of just looking around there and saying like, oh, hey, this is the best savings account right now. And they got it from Bankrate.com. So if you go check out Bankrate.com, you can go into all the let's go in there. So if you go through Bankrate.com, you can look up the best rates on mortgages, banking, credit cards, loans of other like personal loans, investing, and you can just look up all different types of things that are typically reported through Finance YouTube. Trust me, go through Bankrate.com. I'm not sponsored by any of these sources of information. You can figure out everything that you need to know, everything that's put out on these Finance YouTube channels, and instead of randomly happening upon something, you can deliberately go say, I want a checking account, I'm gonna go to Bankrate.com. I want a new mortgage, I'm gonna go to Bankrate.com. New credit card, Bankrate.com. And on the subject of credit cards, number 3 is the churning subreddit on Reddit. So number 3 is the churning subreddit on Reddit. And the first time I found this, I thought it was kind of a stupid, like why would I go to Reddit for financial advice? But there is actually a thriving community in the churning subreddit. And I actually found the Chase Freedom Flex card, which is the next card that I'm going to get. It's got a $200 reward after you get a $500 spend. I don't have a link to plug or anything. That's just literally what I'm doing. I'm not recommending. That's just what I'm doing. But if you go through the churning section of that subreddit, there's a thriving community, and it also answers your questions such as, what if you're looking for, travel points, or where can you get the best cash back, or where can you get the best credit card offers, or how can you get within the 524, what Chase cards are available. There's just anything you could want to know out there. It's either already out there or you can ask and somebody will answer you. That is a great subreddit, so go check that out. Number 3, credit card churning subreddit. Number 4 is Investopedia. Investopedia will essentially answer any of your questions, and if you go through a couple of topics on Investopedia, like say look up like Roth IRA, Investopedia usually comes to the top of the page for Roth IRA if you're Googling it or something. But if you go through Roth IRA, you will notice that this is very familiar. This kind of looks like every single Roth IRA video out there on YouTube, because that's what people do. People look things up on Investopedia, they make a YouTube video about it, and then they look like an expert. So if you want to be that expert, look things up on Investopedia. And of course, you want to contact your local financial advisor, maybe a fee-only advisor, someone who knows what they're doing, just to verify that source. But Investopedia tends to be a very good source of information. Number 5 is Morning Brew. Now, Morning Brew is essentially, they email you every morning and they tell you everything that happened in the finance and business world. Jaspreet Singh over at Minority Mindset also has a morning update on the markets. But if you read through Morning Brew, you'll basically know everything that happened in every country in the business world. Like, for example, the whole Barrett Gold thing that came out in Morning Brew. And then you see a bunch of videos being made about it. And then just anything, if you sign up for Morning Brew, I'm not sponsored by them, but if you sign up for Morning Brew, it's very uncanny how if you read through Morning Brew and then you watch Finance YouTube for the next day, it's the same thing. Like, finance YouTubers read Morning Brew. So that's another tip for you. Moving on to number 6. Number 6 is how to invest in rental property books. Now, I've taken courses for real estate investing, and they are a little bit more involved as far as people sharing their personal failures. There's a little bit more access to the instructor, but you can get something very similar for about $15-$20, and that is real estate investing books. So this is something that a lot of real estate YouTubers do not want people to know. A lot of what real estate YouTubers say is in those real estate investing books that they read. Now, you can listen to a real estate investing book and it'll take you 10-15 hours of your time, maybe $10-15, or you can pay, say, $600 for the same information but packaged in video form. So people really don't want you to know that the same information, possibly slightly different wording, is available in book form, is available in audiobook form. That would put a lot of people out of business. And the same thing goes for stock market investing courses. It's the same information. You know, you can get books by Benjamin Graham, you can get books by Phil Town, you can get books by these expert investors, you can get books by all these proven investors instead of taking those courses. And they will teach you generally the same information, because if something's true, the information doesn't really change. So you don't need to get it from the more expensive source. You can get it from the cheaper source, which is the books and which is the audiobooks. And number 7, to bring this whole big juicy contradiction together and bring it home, Graham Stephan YouTube course. So Graham Stephan YouTube course, that is what got me started on my journey as a YouTuber. That is what got Jake Tran started on his journey as a YouTuber Anyways, that is what got us both started, and that's what taught us the ins and outs of how to succeed on YouTube. So there's a lot of people out there that make videos exclusively about how to succeed on YouTube, and you don't necessarily need to watch all of those videos because they're just random and they're putting out a bunch of different topics. Graham Stephan's YouTube course lays out every single thing that you need to know. It lays out every single thing that you need to know, and it puts it in a way that's just digestible, and you can just get through it, take notes, and treat it like a college course. So a lot of things that you need to know about, like, say, commenting or SEO or how to make a thumbnail or how to edit your videos or how to scale your business or different ways to monetize your YouTube once it starts getting bigger. What to expect in terms of growth, what people like to see, what type of content to make, how to read your analytics. All of these other things are in that course, and once you know them, your YouTube channel just kind of explodes. You know how to work, as he says, the YouTube algorithm. So anyways, those are some sources of information that I really have benefited from. And if you go direct to the source, you don't need to come to me. You don't need to come to any other finance YouTuber. You can find that stuff on your own, and you can read it on your own. So anyways, hopefully these tips save you some time, some energy, some heartache, and some money. Of course, if you guys like this video, make sure you give it a big old thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in the next